I thought walking again meant I was good, that I'd slide back into being me. But my last PT session humbled me. I couldn't step off a box and squat without leaning hard on my left leg, the non-injured leg. So now I'm doing this warm-up before every lift. It's not flashy, but it's what I need. Side steps with bands, abductors, tap downs, step ups. I'll keep doing these until I'm strong again, but for now, this is where the work lives. I would love to get out there and just start doing some high weights, crazy stuff. But if I can't get the fundamentals down, it really means nothing. 11, 12. Although there was a lot of shaking, I think that was a relatively good set. So I feel comfortable moving up to 15 pounds on my right leg. That's really encouraging. The last time I did this in here, I wasn't able to do the leg extension on its own. So that's progress. Quantifiable progress. This is my last set for this warm-up, and normal, typical me, I would try to see how far can I go today. Let me get on 20 pounds, 25 pounds, whatever. I'm just going to take 15 pounds as a win. The next time I do this, hopefully I can get to 20 pounds and then incrementally just get more and more weight. 12. Warm-up finally done. Today I only have 2 main workouts and then a finisher at the end. I need to maximize my time in the gym before baby comes. My first workout, I'm building up to an overhead press, 3 working sets. My suggested weight for my working sets is between 115 and 135. For my warm-up sets, I'll do it up to 10. Then when my speed starts to slow down, I will try a top set at 5 reps. At that point, I'll dial back down to what my working sets will be. A majority of the time that I've been training, I've been solo. So naturally, I've picked up some less than ideal habits, which is why I really enjoyed doing CrossFit at my gym and picking the brains of all of my coaches. One coach, Coach Nick, would tell me about how I could more effectively press overhead. I don't have the greatest range of motions on my wrists, and I think it's because I started CrossFit so late, so I never worked out that flexibility and the mobility, but it's improved greatly since I started CrossFit. And I see these people flipping their wrists all the way back and they're able to push it overhead. I'm thinking to myself, how are you able to push all that weight overhead and not snap your wrists? And for him, and it seems to work for me, once I get overhead, I turn my wrist forward like this. And I feel so much more stronger and secure. And then when I'm coming back down, I bring it in my front rack position. I'm here, up, here, up. When he showed me that at a 5 a.m. session, it was like my mind was blown. I have a personal goal of doing above 225, 250 clean and jerk, but I was telling myself I can't even imagine going overhead at that weight because I felt like my wrist would just snap off. So that's something that always keeps in mind. 7. I got to 7. What that tells me is I'm not gonna hit some crazy weight for me today, which is okay. I will drop down to 105. That's a nice happy medium from 95 to 115. And then I'll do 3 sets of 105 for my working sets. I'm only going to failure for my last set. My goal is to get 10 to 12 reps for sets 1 and 2, and then go to failure for set 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to be mindful of keeping my abs down. I think I'm doing a good job of turning my legs into tree trunks, essentially just creating a strong base, but I have to keep my rib cage down so I'm not overextending myself. I wonder though if it's the way I'm built, I just don't have as much fluidity overhead as I notice other people do. I don't want to use it as an excuse. It's just something I'm always trying to get better at, and it's a real challenge for me. I should be able to do 10 more reps for my second working set, and then we'll see whatever set 3 is going to be. 3. Oof. 4. 5. Let me get to an even number. 6. I love setting targets. It gives me something to work towards, and it allows me to always reframe my thinking, reframing the narrative to ultimately feel like I've accomplished something rather than be defeated. For example, my first 2 working sets were supposed to be 10 to 12 reps. First working set, I got to 10 reps. Second working set, I got to 6 reps. Now, success for me is anything above 6. And if I somehow get to 10 or 10 plus, I should be really proud of how I performed today with this. One more. 6. One more. 7. Even number. 8. I'm done. I feel good. I see myself saying this a lot, and it's so much easier to say it when you're not holding weight, but I felt like I could have done 1, maybe 2 more reps. That's another awesome teaching point I've learned from all the athletes at the CrossFit gym, and this is where you take your rest or your breather, and then when your bar is coming back down, you're back at work. So I was able to squeeze out those last 3 or 2 reps because I just needed to not drop the barbell, and since I didn't, I was able to take a breath, collect myself, and finish off the movement. What I'm gonna try today is the leaning in version of the row. Typically, I am upright and I'm controlled, but I've learned that there's different reasons for doing the different rows. So today, I'm gonna try to lean in, which will give me more range of motion. Way too easy. And I think I have the cable too low. I know there's a benefit to the lean in method, but that extra momentum that I'm able to gain, I wish I could put the weight up a lot heavier. This is just feeling way too easy. That's something I'll need to look into. Can I get an attachment that allow me to hook up both sides of the stack? At that point, I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio, or whatever it is. I'll be able to do twice as much weight as I'm able to do now. I may call an audible. I'm gonna put the weight stack to 16, which means 80 pounds. I'll do 1 set of the lean-in variation. If it's too easy again, I will go back to the more rigid standard version. With that, I feel like I'm getting some work even at this lower weight. At 80 pounds, with the lean-in approach, I wouldn't call it challenging, but it was not as easy at the lighter weights. I'm still debating, do I go to the more standard version of lat rows, or do I stick with this? Here's what I'll do. 10 to 12 is not enough reps. So 3 sets, I want to get to 20 plus for each. The weight's easy. Let me get the reps up. I want to feel that burn in my lats. I want to feel the burn in my back. Whoa. I guess I consider that previous set 1. My last 2 sets will be, I'm shooting for 20 to 25. Ooh, much better. For the last set, I am going to try to get above 25 reps. Do you think I could double my reps? You think I could do 50? Why not try? Some of you watching this might have been screaming, hey, do this, do that, in order to make it more challenging. I'll read comments, I'll watch more videos. But once I repositioned my foot, before I was doing the first couple sets with my foot really extended out, when I brought my feet closer in, and I stayed a little upright, I was able to get a deeper stretch. Technique is key, technique is key. My lats are feeling quite lovely right now. Five. 35. I'm just trying to collect myself before moving on to the finisher. The curl to press ladder with the plate. Three, two, one. Two things. Number one, I wonder if I did that correctly. Number two, I don't feel challenged at all, and I can't end off a workout like that. The question is, do I go to 35 pounds, which is a more responsible decision, or I do 45 pounds, or 55 pounds? Decisions, decisions. Here is why I am going to do 35 pounds. I don't know if I did the movements correctly. So what does it mean if I do a heavy weight if the form and technique is wrong? I'll research later on how I should have done this, how this should have looked, but there's no reason putting myself at risk for my ego. 35 pounds, I'll do the ladder, hopefully a little bit better, transitioning from the curl to the overhead press, and then I'll be done. Now I need to find a good song to listen to. Found it. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank God I didn't try to do some heavier weight. And what I just realized during the first set, was I just pressing from above my head? When do you ever do that? So for the second set, when I brought the weight down here and I pressed overhead, it was definitely more challenging. 3, 4, 5, higher. 4, 3, 4, got high. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh my God. 2, oh, 2, 1, 2. Ooh. 1. Oh. I'm done. While not the most exciting portion of my workout, the warm-up was definitely the most important part of my training. Because I can't squat, I can't go up and down stairs without holding on to something. But I'm gonna keep growing, I'm gonna keep building, and in a few weeks, I'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. Till next time, folks,